Welcome back, everyone. I'm Lana, and this is Lana Yuen Reviews, exclusively on the Br Network. Today, we are diving into 90s cult classic, Jacob's Ladder. Although I've never seen the film before, it has been recommended to me many times. Usually at parties by random strangers, a little high on something, and it usually sounds a lot like,
"Dude, you haven't seen Jacob's Ladder? Oh, you've got to see Jacob's Ladder."
Followed by a description of some trippy visuals and an ending that's gonna blow your mind, man. But even with all that high praise, I just never got around to it. Until now. Jacob's Ladder stars a young Tim Robbins as Jacob, Elizabeth Peña as his girlfriend Jessie, and Danny Aiello as his advice-giving chiropractor. The film also has a supporting cast of other 90s stars such as Ving Rhames, Eric LaSalle, and, to my surprise, an only slightly balding Jason Alexander. The film is directed by Adrian Lyne, who is behind some of the steamiest 90s erotic thrillers such as Indecent Proposal, 9.5 Weeks, and Fatal Attraction. Plus, a little 80s classic called Flashdance, which, of all of the dance-crazed movies, was really not my favorite. Sorry, Rob. The story revolves around a young veteran/mailman, Jacob Singer, who returns from Vietnam only to find himself entrenched in a new and perilous war waging against his own demons. Plagued by intense hallucinations and traumatic flashbacks, Singer clings helplessly to the last remnants of his sanity while also trying to investigate the cause behind his madness. He desperately seeks answers to his questions as the world and people around him contort into vivid and disturbing demons. Even though this movie is over 30 years old, just a warning, this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't had a chance to experience this total mindfuck on your own, I highly suggest that you do. And with that, let's climb into it. Without seeing a trailer, a clip, or even a movie poster, I really had no idea what to expect from Jacob's Ladder. When the film opens up on a group of Vietnam soldiers relaxing at base camp and shooting the shit, I thought, oh, is this a war movie? I hate war movies. Oh shit, is that Ving Rhames? But after the explosions, a guy literally getting his leg blown to shreds, and our main dude getting stabbed, I think to death, we cut to Singer in present-day New York on an empty subway train, literally surrounded by signs that say, "Welcome to hell," and stuff about the afterlife. And then it all became clear. This is what we're doing. How original. So while I got the idea, to its credit, the movie does keep you guessing the whole time. Is Jacob dead? Is he dying? Is he in purgatory? Is he on a literal train to hell? Is this all one big elaborate nightmare that in the end he'll just wake up from? Which would be the fucking worst? For Tim Robbins, I was willing to find out. Tim Robbins strikes a wonderful balance of dorky, aloof, and, well, crazy. He doesn't strike you as the leading man from first glance with his tall, lumbering frame and his thick glasses, but as the film progresses, you really start to feel for the guy. Robbins does a great job of conveying confusion, terror, and sadness all in just a glance. He's a dad, he's a war vet, he's a blue-collar worker, and you just want to root for him. His teddy bear qualities coupled with his possessive and rather horny girlfriend make it pretty clear that Singer is just going through something right now. Just Jezebel's name alone implies a certain something, but her actual character, dealing with Singer's sudden obsessions and mysterious illnesses, proves to be exceedingly loyal and surprisingly virtuous. Singer has another guardian angel looking after him in his friend Lewis, equal parts confidant, friend, chiropractor, and lawyer, all in one. Danny Aiello has made a career out of playing gangsters and bookies, so it was a really pleasant surprise to see him playing an angel, who, for once, isn't looking to break someone's kneecaps, just their necks, if they ask nicely. When Lewis gives Jacob that speech about how demons are tearing apart his memories to release his soul, you actually feel rather at peace, as he describes it. Like, things are gonna be okay. It's just demons. Forget about it. And with the little time we get with Jacob's war buddies in the present, they are able to provide a little bit of solace in their shared madness. While I was hoping for more time with Ving Rhames, I mean, who wouldn't? The real standout here was Pruitt Taylor Vince's Paul. When he meets up with Jacob at the bar, you can see the terror on his whole face. Like he's seen some serious shit and there's just no escape. The production design really helps bring this old, dirty New York to life. Everything is slimy and grimy, and it looks like it smells like someone used every dark corner for a little bathroom break. The lighting is moody, and the camera work feels real and grounded, especially in this world of craziness. It actually reminded me of the look and feel of David Fincher's movies in the 90s, even down to those iconic yellow-green tones he used in his color grade. If you told me that Jacob's Ladder was directed by the same guy who did Fight Club and Seven, I believe you. In fact, while doing research, I found that the visual aesthetic of this film actually inspired others, like the Silent Hill video game series to the setting of Avenged Sevenfold's song, aptly named Nightmare. Even though this film wasn't a massive box office success, it's still pretty impressive how the visual influence can still be felt to this day. One of my favorite aspects of the film was just how demented and twisted the demons were. They're paraplegic, leather-wearing, dirty dancing, transportation-taking metalheads that absolutely steal the show whenever they're on screen. My favorite one was the one with no face, whizzing by on the Soul Train past Singer and just giving a friendly little wave as if to say, "Welcome to Purgatory, my friend. See you soon." And let's not forget about the iconic shaky head demon. Maybe it's just me, but I swear I saw that effect used in countless video game ads and music videos in the 90s. And most definitely in mediocre horror films such as The House on Haunted Hill. While this technique was fresh at the time, at this point it seems like rather a cheap trick to make something seem more twisted than it actually is. Another influence I did not expect was the erotic undertones. It makes sense, really. This is the guy who previously directed Fatal Attraction. And to my surprise, the same writer who, in just the same year, released another supernatural flick, a little movie called Ghost, after which I will never look at clay throwing the same ever again. The erotic thrill in Jacob's Ladder was way more gratuitous than I ever would have expected. Very erotic, very thrilling. The dance scene at the party, the surprise tentacles, the grinding, the humping, the sensual thrill and a foot caressing a lover's lower back, and the sheer amount of times that we see Jesse's boobs. The film has it all. Like, seriously, Jesse's nipples should have their own starring credit. There are times where we have full sequences of dialogue and the nipple is just strategically placed right there, just within the frame, like, look at me, I'm a nipple. Granted, it could be that Jesse could never settle on a damn thing to wear. Maybe. I'm on to you, Lynn. Let's get this out of the way. This film was not subtle by any means. Cleverly titled Jacob's Ladder, it refers to the Bible's Jacob and his dream about a ladder that connects earth to heaven. This film also ascribes biblical meaning just through the character names. Jacob, Sarah, Lewis, Michael, Paul, Jezebel, Jacob's sons Eli and Jed, and his favorite son, Gabe, played by a baby Macaulay Culkin, who was not credited in the film due to some family drama. The Bible stuff is delivered with the subtle finesse of an English lit minor in their freshman year, making it incredibly obvious that all of this is either entirely supernatural or entirely a decoy, and a cheap decoy at that. One tiny nitpick, the whole army experimenting on soldiers really didn't add much to the film for me, but it could have, with longer flashbacks, strange occurrences, and a gradual onset of symptoms rather than Deep Throat's exposition to Jacob in the underground. It's about as cheap as waking up in an empty subway full of Welcome to Hell posters. Frankly, you could have thrown out the entire subplot and the film would have been better for it. Jacob's Ladder is one of those relics from the past that really deserves to be in the conversation more. Its creative visuals, dark tone, and the strong performances make it a must-see for any horror fan, especially if you like tentacles and Bible studies. And while it is predictable in its messaging and its ending, it is done exceptionally well, and it is a trip worth taking. So, what do you think of Jacob's Ladder? Does it still hold up for you? Did you watch the remake, and if so, why? I'd love to get your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, please pause for cat's exit. Goodbye. I'm a nipple. The story revolves around a Danny Aiello. Aiello. Forget about it. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I know. I'm pretty gangster myself.